So now we're going to work on the same problem, but I'm going to show you how we could use a different form to find this problem. Okay, so the form we'll be using in this problem is called point-slope form, and the formula for that is y subtract y1 equals your slope m times x subtract x1. Okay, so go ahead and write that in. Now this is what we call point-slope form, and it's called point-slope form because you could write an equation if you know a point from the graph and you know the slope of the graph, which means you don't need to know the y-intercept of the graph in order to write your equation. Okay, but you can use point-slope form to find your equation of a line instead of using slope-intercept form. And then solving for the y-intercept algebraically like we did in the first part of the problem. Okay, so all you need in order to use this form is you need a point from the graph and you need the slope. And luckily in the last problem we found those two things. We had 2/7 for our slope and we had a point to -2. Make sure those are right. Nope. It was -2 and just 2. So -2 for x and just 2 for y. Okay, and the way that we use these is I plug in -2 for x, which is here. I would plug in 2 for y1, which is right there. And I would plug in the slope for the slope, which is right there. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this with all my pieces in there. So instead of doing y minus y1, I'm going to do y minus 2 because y1 is 2 equals my slope, which is 2/7, times x minus x1, which is -2. So I'm going to do minus a -2, and we should know that when we have minus a negative, that's actually a big plus sign. Okay, and then we're going to solve this just the way we would solve any equation. We're going to solve this for y. So the first thing I can do on either side is I can distribute. Okay, and that gives me 2/7 x plus 4/7. And I still have y minus 2 over here. The next thing I need to do is I need to get y by itself. So I'm going to do the opposite of this -2, which is to +2. So I'm going to +2 here, I'm going to +2 over here, and I get y equals 2/7 x plus 2 4/7. And we're done. So you'll see that took a lot less work than it did the first time we did it, and that's because we used this simpler form, which lets us just solve instead of having to do two solving equations and then write the equation again.